A lot of the videos that I've done on this channel have been about relatively frivolous topics. Gaming in general. It's not that it doesn't matter, but it's not going to ruin your life if you get it wrong, right? So when I say that today I'm talking about something that is actually important, that's what I mean by that. Because we're not talking about the game itself. We are talking about the real world surrounding the game and how you should not buy Hasbro products. Hasbro is a bad company. They're run by bad people. And there are a few things I'm going to point out to substantiate that. And then the conclusion, spoilers, is that you should not buy any more of their products. They need to feel the consequences of their bad decisions. So if you don't remember, or maybe you weren't even in the gaming scene back then, they tried to bamboozle third-party publishers by changing the GSL, or the OSL. It would be the OGL. GSL is for the it's a different thing. Not that different, but it is a different thing. The open system license. Yeah, I've totally messed myself up here. The open system license, which currently allows third-party publishers to produce content for 5th edition D&D using that engine. They tried to change it to not allow that to happen so freely. And then they lied about it. And then they got called out on their lie. And they lied again. They were quite antagonistic towards the community. And the only reason why it didn't change was because the community pretty much stood fast and said, we will not accept this. And they're like, okay. They backed off. They finally, I think they did finally admit that what they were doing was bad. There's that. Also, last year you had the Pinkerton thing, where, because this is not just about D&D, they sent the frickin' Pinkertons after somebody who didn't do anything wrong. He did nothing illegal. He received incorrect product, which was not his fault. And they sent the Pinkerton, like, did they say, hey, can we have that back? Did they say, hey, we're going to sue you to get that back? No, they went straight to, let's send hitmen out to intimidate your family to get this back. The Pinkertons. If you don't know how bad they are, you should look it up. I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube videos about it. I don't have any links off the top of my head. But yeah, you can definitely find out how bad these people are. This is an organization that, frankly, I was surprised to find out still existed. I wouldn't think that they would be compatible with modern cultural, our modern culture of, like, don't be murderers. You know, why does it still exist? Anyways, there's that. They laid off, was it like 1,800 employees last year, while their CEO is raking in millions in compensation, well beyond their stated salary. Like, this is a company that does not care about its people and does not care about you, and they've made that very clear. Hasbro is a bad company. It's not the worst company out there. It's not. There's a lot of really bad ones. But they're pretty bad. As far as gaming companies go, I think they're one of the worst. It's like them and Blizzard, you know. They're competing for that spot. So Hasbro's a really bad company. Here we establish Hasbro is a bad company, and they're not getting better. The 1D&D playtest has shown that this update coming for 5th edition is not really anything new. It is a remix of existing content that is done at minimum possible effort. Actually, not minimum possible effort. It actually kind of is below that. They are taking effort to not fix things. If I were writing an update for 5th edition, my minimum, I wouldn't put in minimum possible effort. Let's be honest. Okay. I was going to say that they're like less than, fewer changes than what I would do, and I'm minimum possible effort. I'm minimum possible effort when it comes to doing videos. This channel is minimum possible effort. If I was writing 5th edition, I would do a better job. I would put in effort. So they are like, it's such a cash grab kind of like minimum possible effort update to say like, hey, let's put out a bunch of new books. We don't have enough new content for all these books. Let's just sort of reuse existing content and put a little spin on it. And people will pay full price for this stuff. And they will. Let's be honest, they will. There's people who are going to buy D&D and Magic the Gathering regardless of what anyone says, regardless of what Hasbro does. There's basically nothing that can stop them from buying these products. The company cannot behave badly enough to stop them from buying these products. I've seen it. Amidst the Pinkerton scandal, people were still buying Magic. I saw it. It's frustrating. This is, to me, a moral stance. I cannot tolerate or abide this company existing and going unpunished. So I encourage others not to buy Hasbro product. If enough people stop buying Hasbro product, they will notice, because the bottom line is the only thing they care about. That's the bottom line. The bottom line is the only thing they care about. Sales numbers are the only number that matters. So I just want, this is an opinion. This is clearly an opinion. So it's going to go in the opinions playlist, but this is also a request. I'm putting this out there to the larger gaming community. Please do not buy Hasbro products. Do not buy D&D. Do not buy Magic the Gathering. Do they do anything else? What else do they do? They don't really do anything else. I think they do some publishing for other companies. I want to say they have like the publishing contract for a couple of other card games. I could be wrong about that. I want to say that they do publish for other companies, but those are like their products. Those are the things that matter to them. And D&D even less than Magic the Gathering. If you play Magic the Gathering, I get it. It's an addiction. Please don't buy new product. Buy singles. Buy, secondhand market. Whatever you got to do to get your fix. Please do not buy new product. Because as long as people don't care how badly the company acts, they're going to keep acting this badly. The next time the OGL? Yeah, OGL. The next time the OGL gets changed, maybe people won't notice. They're going to try again. The fact of the matter is they're going to try again because that's how they are. And if you don't catch it, they're going to get away with it. They didn't get away with it this last time, but they're going to try again. They're going to ruin the things that we love. And they're going to do it while raking in billions of dollars. And the CEO is going to get a lot of that. And the regular employees who do a lot of the work, a lot of the creative work, are not. And they're already burning bridges with Larian Studios. That's why we're not getting any more Baldur's Gate content, because like their contacts and relationship with Wizards of the Coast have just kind of dried up. They don't have a working relationship anymore because all the people that they were working with are gone. All while the CEO is raking in millions in bonuses. This is a bad company. This is every kind of bad company all rolled into one. And like this is kind of a bit of a rant, but I do feel strongly about this. Hasbro, like at the risk of sounding melodramatic, let's be honest, Hasbro must suffer the consequences. If you have a sense of justice, you must agree with me that Hasbro must suffer the consequences for their actions these last couple of years. And if they don't, we're only going to get more of that. It's not good for the communities. It's not good for the products or the properties that they manage. And if we don't do something about it, it is never going to get better. There's not even a question of like, are we going to get 6th edition? Sure, yes, obviously. Eventually we'll get 6th edition. That is inevitable. It's going to happen. Whether it happens in 5 years or 10 or 20, who can say? Eventually there's going to be 6th edition. Is it going to be in the hands of Wizards of the Coast, or is it going to be in the hands of someone else who buys it from them after they fail? I'm kind of thinking that the latter might be the more attractive option. Someone who, like Wizards of the Coast once did, it loves the property and buys it to save it. That's what I would like to see. I think Wizards of the Coast, or when they originally bought the D&D property from TSR, it was staffed with people who just love the game. They love the idea of fantasy role-playing, and they were going to do something with it. 3rd edition was, for all of its faults, and by the way, it's an incredibly flawed system. I will never play 3rd edition again. I could not bring myself to do so. For all its faults, it had vision. It was made by people who love the game, and they made a lot of mistakes, but like it was their first go around with it. It is clear that they loved the game. They were putting out tons of content for it. It had a certain sort of internal logic to it. Didn't make it easier or more fun to play, but like there's like you can see why they were doing the things that they were doing. 4th edition comes along, same thing. Like, all right, here are the problems with our existing game. We're going to improve on these. We're going to fix all these problems, make it a more eminently playable game because we love this game. We're going to put out tons of content for it because we love this game and we want players to be excited about it. And everything that they did in 4th edition was like, oh yeah, that's so awesome. I want that. 5th edition comes along, and here we start to see the signs that Wizards of the Coast is no longer the same. They are all about meeting like community satisfaction survey results. They want to appeal to old school gamers. You know, it's all about popularity and making the statement that we are not 4th edition because some people didn't like 4th edition. Never mind the financial environment under which 4th edition was released. And it's only gotten worse since then. Then you get into the fact that 5th edition has very little content. In the 10 years that 5th edition has been out, it has received less content than 4th edition got in 1 year. Which I have talked about in the past. I have a video on exactly that topic. And so there's like, they clearly aren't doing a lot with it. It feels to me like they are not passionate about this property. And then you start to get into all the things that have happened more recently in the last year or two, where Hasbro has really started to reveal what sort of company they are and how they regard their partners, their employees, and their customers. And if you buy Hasbro product, you are supporting that behavior directly. And I think the only moral action is to not do that.